What if I told you that one of the most stable businesses in the world is hidden behind something as small as a screw or a nail? You don't see it, but every wall, every piece of furniture, every construction job, every roof around you is held together by millions of tiny metal pieces that someone manufactures non-stop, every day of the year. Today, we're going to talk about how you can set up your nail and screw factory in just 20 square meters. Yes, inside a space the size of a garage, with compact machines you can import from China and turn into a business that never stops selling. Because the day the world stops using screws and nails, the world stops. In this video, you're going to discover how the business works, which machines are the key ones, how a microfactory is organized in a small space, how much you could produce and sell, and how to scale from a minimal operation until you become a supplier for hardware stores, workshops, and construction companies. And stay until the end, because I'm going to tell you which machine combination is the smartest way to start with little capital, validate the market, and then scale. And remember, in the description you have the link to learn how to import these machines from China step by step, without speaking Chinese and without going crazy with logistics. Think about this for a second. Every time someone assembles a piece of furniture, installs a door, hangs a window, builds a house, changes a roof, puts up a gate, makes a shelving unit, secures a solar panel, builds a restaurant or a warehouse, at some point they used nails or screws. Their products so everyday, so cheap per unit that nobody pays attention to them. But that's exactly where the secret is. They sell in enormous quantities. A kilo of screws or nails might seem like nothing, but on a construction site they go through sacks. A single hardware store can sell thousands of units a day. A carpentry shop, a metalworking shop, or a fabrication workshop uses nails and screws every day of the year. There's no fashion, there's no high season or low season. It's pure constant demand. And here's what gets interesting for you. These products aren't made only by huge steel mills or international giants. There are thousands of microfactories working in small spaces with 2 or 3 well-configured machines, transforming steel wire into nails and rod or wire into screws, with very interesting margins once you master the process. The key is to understand this. You are not going to produce the steel. You don't need a steel plant, giant furnaces, or millions of dollars. Your main raw material is low-carbon steel wire, already rolled in coils. Your job, and where your profit is transforming it into nails and screws, ready to sell to hardware stores, depots, and workshops. Let's start with nails, because they're the simplest entry point into the business. Imagine you receive a coil of wire. That wire goes into a machine that does almost all the magic for you. The machine straightens the wire, cuts an exact length, forms the nail head with a controlled udar, strike, and at the same time shapes the point. In seconds, that continuous wire turns into a rain of identical nails, one after another, dropping into a tray. After that, those nails go through a finishing system. They can go into a polishing drum with sawdust, shot media, or special lubricants to remove burrs, improve shine, and leave the surface ready for packaging. If you want to go one level higher, they can be galvanized or coated to improve corrosion resistance. But many nails for indoor use are sold simply polished. Do you realize how powerful this is? You buy anonymous wire with no brand, and you turn it into nails with your brand, your packaging, and your price. You're adding real value. Now, let's move to the next level: screws. Unlike the nail, the screw has 2 very clear parts: the head and the thread. The industrial process normally has 2 main stages. First, the cold heading machine, or cold forging. This machine takes wire or rod, cuts it into small sections, and with a series of controlled blows, forms the screw head. It can be Phillips, flat, hexagonal, Allen, etc. The metal doesn't melt. It deforms under pressure, keeping its strength. Second, the threading machine, or thread rolling. Here, the screw body passes between two rollers or dies shaped like the thread. Instead of removing material, the metal is compressed and displaced to form the thread. That process, when done right, increases the screw's strength because it aligns the metal's grains/fibers. After that, other stages can come. Heat treatment to harden, zinc coating to prevent corrosion, chemical baths to improve adhesion or color, and finally sorting and packaging. It sounds complex, but from a business point of view, it's simple. You buy wire and rod. You invest in a compact line of machines. You create a product that sells by the kilo, by the box, by SKU/reference, and your customers will be restocking constantly. Now, I want you to physically imagine your 20 square meter factory. You're not seeing a huge industrial warehouse. You're seeing a rectangular space where you organize everything by flow. In one corner, coils of wire stacked, well organized. Next to that, the nail-making machine, with space to feed the wire in and collect finished nails in boxes or trays. A bit further, a polishing drum or rotating barrel where you clean and polish the nails. A table where you weigh and bag them into 1 kilo, 2 kilo, 5 kilo bags or boxes. If you decide to include screws, you install a cold heading machine and right next to it the thread roller. Both take space, yes, but they're still compact machines. They're not 20-meter monsters. With a good layout, you can fit everything into those initial 20 square meters: production, a small packaging area, and a mini stock. It's a workshop, not an industrial monster, but a workshop that, if run well, can produce hundreds of kilos per day of sellable product. At this point, I want to make a quick pause. If everything I'm telling you resonates with you, if you like the idea of building a business with real machines and products that always sell, subscribe right now to the channel and turn on the bell. Here we talk about businesses built with steel, numbers, and strategy, not smoke. And remember, in the description you have the link to learn how to import these machines from China with a method, step by step, so you don't get lost in the process. Let's continue. Let's talk about the heart of your micro factory, the machines. The nail machine is usually the first smart investment. A single machine can produce different nail sizes by adjusting length and diameter depending on the die and the setup. In a conservative scenario, an entry-level nail machine can easily produce dozens of kilos of nails per day, and more robust equipment can produce hundreds of kilos, depending on the size you're making. Then you have the polishing drum, which is relatively simple. A rotating cylinder where you throw in the nails along with a polishing medium. It spins for a set time, and the nails come out clean, with a better finish, ready to pack. If you want to jump to screws, you add the head-forming forging machine and the thread rolling machine. At the beginning, you don't need to produce every screw type on the market. You can specialize in 2 or 3 high-turnover SKUs. For example, wood screws of a certain length, screws for sheet metal, or general-purpose screws. The trick is to learn the process for those few SKUs really well and master quality. It's not about monopolizing the world market. It's about being the reliable supplier who always has the screw that workshops in your city use the most. Now let's get to what everyone cares about. Where's the money? The money isn't in selling one screw. It's in selling full boxes, bags, and sacks every day. Imagine you manufacture general-purpose nails. Your customers don't buy 10 units from you. They buy kilos. A small neighborhood hardware store can rotate dozens of kilos per month. A big hardware store, hundreds. A construction company, even more. Because nails and screws get consumed on-site. Walls, roofs, structures, temporary fastenings. The same happens with screws. Every piece of furniture assembled, every board mounted, every metal structure put together consumes screws. Nobody saves screws from one project to the next. They get used, they get lost, and they get bought again. It's a product designed to be consumed. The business model is based on this. You buy raw material at industrial pricing. You transform it, and you sell it in presentations adapted to the market. Cheap small bags for the end customer, medium boxes for workshops, sacks, or large volume boxes for distributors and construction companies. The margin is in that jump. The more perceived value you add, neat packaging, sorted by size, your own brand, clear technical sheet, the easier it is to defend your price against competitors who sell everything mixed together. Now let's look at the sales models that open up when you set up this micro factory. First, direct sales to hardware stores. It's the most obvious channel and one of the most powerful. You become that store's supplier for nails and screws. You deliver the product organized with clear labels, size, net kilo, type of use. They just place the boxes on shelves and that's it. As long as you meet quality and timelines, they'll keep buying from you every month. Second, sales to specialized workshops, carpentries, cabinet shops, metalworking shops, metal structure companies, panel installers, roofing crews, air conditioning installers, solar panel installers. They value more than just price. They need consistency and quality. The head shouldn't break. The thread should bite well. The nail shouldn't bend the first time. If you offer reliable nails and screws, they stick with you. Third, contracts with construction companies and real estate developers. Here, you're not selling 1 kilo. You're selling full packages for projects. For example, the full supply of nails and screws for a residential complex, a building, or an industrial plant. You include a variety of sizes and types, and you guarantee stock throughout the entire job. Fourth, wholesale sales to regional distributors. When your production capacity grows, you can sell your product to other resellers in nearby cities. They handle sales, and you focus on producing and maintaining quality. And fifth, one of the most interesting, your own brand. When you stop selling nails and start selling the nail brand that doesn't fail, your value goes up. Same with screws, boxes with your logo, your slogan, and your reputation. I want you to visualize something. Your 20 square meter microfactory running an 8-hour workday with a nail machine working constantly, and if you choose, a small screw line. Around you, boxes filled with finished product, ready to go to hardware stores and workshops. Every time a final customer opens a box on a job site, they don't even know your factory exists, but their construction is held together, literally, by your business. While others keep searching for the perfect business that depends on likes, trends, or algorithms, you're building something much simpler and more powerful, producing what the world uses every single day. If you made it this far, it's because this topic truly interests you. So I'll repeat it. Subscribe to the channel right now, turn on the bell, and leave me a comment telling me what country you're watching from and how easy it is to get nails and screws in your city. And don't forget that in the description you have the link to learn how to import these machines from China using a proven method. No improvising. Now, let's talk about how to start if your capital is limited. The smartest strategy isn't trying to buy every machine in the world all at once. It's entering through the simplest door, the nail machine. With a good nail machine and guaranteed raw material, you already have a business. You can start by making just 2 or 3 high-rotation nail sizes for construction and basic carpentry. You learn to calibrate the machine. You adjust timing. You control waste. You understand how much wire you consume and how many nails you produce. Meanwhile, you build relationships with hardware stores, workshops, and small distributors. When that first pillar is solid and you see your machines are already running close to capacity, that's when it makes sense to add the screw line. And again, not to produce absolutely every model, but to specialize in a few key SKUs for your market. At the same time, you take advantage of everything you're learning: how to negotiate with wire suppliers, how to optimize cuts, how to organize your mini warehouse, how to package more professionally, how to manage inventory. Because one thing is producing, and another thing is running a profitable micro factory. There's another angle that few people see, And it can become your second business, your experience. The day you master this system, when you've imported your machine, installed it, gotten it producing, and you know how to sell the output, you automatically become valuable to other entrepreneurs. You can help others import their machines, advise them on setup, provide spare parts, help them choose models. That also gets paid. That way, you don't just make money manufacturing nails and screws. You also make money connecting more people to this kind of business. You become the reference in your city or region when someone says, "I want to set up a nail or screw micro factory. Who do I ask?" The answer, if you do things right, can be your name. I want to close with one very clear idea. There are businesses that depend on what's trendy, on the viral product of the month, the algorithm, the country of the moment. And there are businesses that hold up the world in silence. The nails and screws business is one of those. As long as there are houses, buildings, furniture, workshops, roofs, gates, metal structures, and wood that has to be joined to other wood, there will be someone buying nails and screws. The question is, do you want to keep being the person who buys them? Or are you going to become the person who makes them? You don't need a giant plant. You don't need an initial fortune. You need correct information, decision, and consistency. A 20 square meter factory may look small on the map, but if inside it there are machines producing every day, it can represent the difference between living day to day or building a business that pays for your freedom. If this video opened your mind and made you see nails and screws in a different way, share it with someone who's always looking for good business opportunities but doesn't know where to start. Hit like if it brought you value and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos, where we'll keep analyzing machines, processes, and real business models. And remember, because this is key, in the description you have the link to learn how to import these machines from China, step by step, without falling for scams and without throwing away your money due to lack of information. That's where your next factory can begin, no matter how small it is today. And who knows, maybe your next great entrepreneurial story.